I'm the engineering manager here at Bulletproof. I look after both the software developers as well as the cloud solution engineers, as well as quality assurance team. And I'm going to talk about developer innovation. From my experience of managing developers as well as being a developer over time, the four main pain points for our developers come back to collaboration, application deployment, testing, and being able to innovate, because that gives our developers the best way. They're a lot less pain. So through collaboration, Visual Studio Team Services has a really cool set of collaboration tools already built into it. So they've got pretty much a almost a Jira type setup to be able to run through your Kanban, your Scrum boards, be able to plan out your development releases, plan out your schedules, your testing, when things are going, have that transparency through the entire team so that teams know when they're going to deploy, when they're going to test, to make sure that they are actually meeting your deadlines. Visual Team Studio has also, because it's gone further than just .NET now. You can now start integrating through your own IDE. So it has, you can plug in Java, PHP. You can start using your Ant, Maven. You don't need to use just Git or Subversion or Visual Team Studios for source control. There's many different plugins. They've opened it fully up. About every 3 weeks, they're starting to roll out new features through Visual Studio Team Services, so it is a constantly developing toolset. The other advantage to having Visual Team Studio Team Services is there's a lot of collaboration. So your application deployments, your testing, everything can be built into the one pipeline, to the one toolset. Which brings me on to application deployments. So with all cloud environments, it's all about being able to release early, release often, and release with confidence. And to do that, you want to go that through your development environments, through multiple environments. You want to be able to control the cost of those environments. Let your developers and your operations teams really control what you're doing, how you're doing it, making sure that you can do those blue-green deployments. You can do the type of thing, the right type of deployments, the right environments as you need them. There's the opportunity to be able to run up different environments for the different types of configurations and setups that you might be wanting to test through your cloud scenarios, which really starts to make sure that you've got some really good environments out there. It's not just linked into Visual Studio Team Services. With the right approach, you can start plugging into your Jenkins, your Octopus deploy, any of your own deployment or your own CI/CD pipelines, and really start to develop it through. With testing is once you get your testing environments up and running, and being able to use like Dev Test Labs, which James spoke briefly about before, your Visual Studio performance testing, which is already built into your performance into Visual Studio, plugging back into Security Center so you can start running your penetration testing, so operations really know that what you are developing is actually going to meet the standards that you require for your applications and your systems. Visual Studio Application Insights, James also touched on briefly. You're giving your control back to your developers to be able to look through and see how your application is performing, where you can improve things, and start to really optimize your costs and your savings through your application development process. And if you get all of those things right, so your collaboration, your application deployments, and your testing, it allows you time to have allows your developers and your operations team to start thinking a little bit more innovatively. So being able to do some innovation, be able to really stretch and see what you can do with Azure. So what we did at Bulletproof as part of our Bulletproof journey into the Azure space, we invested some time with our operations staff and our development staff where we actually spent a day and we ran a hack day. So we started using some of the APIs which Giles has spoken about. We started using some of the open source tools which Greg will talk about. We looked at some of the big data which Sam will talk about. We picked up what we could do and we allowed our developers to pick up and move forward with our own innovation.